is Star 103.5 FM.
Hello there, good morning. It's 6 o'clock GMT and you are listening to the Star Breakfast News with me, Obed, King Gaglo. Coming up this morning, thousands of Ghanaians expected to pour out onto the streets in a bid to pile pressure on the state to release some 53 anti-Galamsey protesters detained a week ago. We hear from defense lawyer of the Democracy Hub demonstrators who want the police to exercise restraint in today's march. And also ahead, Media Coalition Against Galamsey describes as unfortunate ongoing blame game between the Attorney General and the judiciary over delays in prosecuting perpetrators of illegal mining.
Very unfortunate, because then we find ourselves as a nation at a crossroads. And so the AG should set up and ensure that what is required of them, before the court, before prosecutions can take place, should be done.
And also ahead, President Akufo-Addo expresses concerns over the country's dependence on important pharmaceutical products as he emphasizes the need to boost local pharmaceutical industry. We have details of these and many other stories coming up shortly. Do stay with us.
Star News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, My Star Radio in the USA, also live on Facebook on Star 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Star 103.5 FM, Star News. Informed, in depth, in touch.
Thanks for choosing Star News. Now, thousands of Ghanaians are expected to pour out onto the streets this morning in a bid to pile pressure on the state to release some 53 detained anti-Galamsey protesters. The protest is anticipated to draw the attention of the state and also demand the release of these protesters. Ahead of the massive protest, a member of the legal team of the protesters, Noah Damte, wants the police to exercise restraints during today's march.
Have created for ourselves a culture that seems to speak to the fact that the police's duty at the protest ground is to protect other people from the protesters. But we must also deliberately inculcate the habit, especially within the police service, that the duty of the police during the protest is also to protect the protesters. Shepherd them as they go on the protest to prevent any harm happening to them. So we believe that the protesters will abide by the law, they will engage in any act of illegality, they will protest as they exercise their right, free speech and assembly. But I also hope the police will not take laws into their own hands and will protect the protesters to come tomorrow. Obviously, if the police is on the grounds with them and they are directing traffic, that is the good thing the police must do.
Still on issues related to Galamsey, the Media Coalition Against Galamsey has described as unfortunate the ongoing blame game between the Attorney General's Department and the judiciary over the delay in prosecuting perpetrators of illegal mining activities in the country. This comes at a time where civil society groups, religious bodies, and traditional leaders have raised concerns over the failure to prosecute and take decisive action in tackling the Galamsey menace. According to the coalition, the Attorney General must set up and do the needful rather than shifting blames. A member of the coalition, Dr. Adam Bona, has been speaking to Star News.
Very unfortunate, because then we find ourselves as a nation at a crossroads where our water bodies are getting destroyed, our forest belt is getting depleted. And so if at this point, the number one lawyer, the Attorney General, and the Minister of Justice, and the head of the judiciary, in the person of the Chief Justice, don't seem to agree that things must work in a certain coordinated manner, then we probably are heading nowhere. I'm saying this because I heard, in your report where the Attorney General, the AG Attorney General seemed to be suggesting that giving timelines to which, the judiciary should dispose of these cases. A lot of things go in. You wouldn't want to quickly dispose of cases at the expense of reasonableness, at the expense of justice, and all that. You have to ensure that the accused, you have all the evidence to ensure the accused is prosecuted or otherwise. And so, what are the resources available to the judiciary? Do they have everything that is needed? I think I heard the CJ talk about, certain documentation statements and all that have not been filed. If you don't do that, the judges, they won't be able to do what is expected. So I think that the AG has reps all over the country, and so the AG should sit up and ensure that what is required of them, before the court, before prosecutions can take place, should be done. But where we are at the moment, it's not looking good. And we have labor unions threatening, which I am happy about, because It looks like these blame games would not stop today.
Away from that, the Electoral Commission has expressed optimism of an improvement in the country's voter turnout in this year's election. The electoral body yesterday disclosed that some 18.7 million Ghanaians are expected to cast their ballots on December 7. But speaking at a democracy and governance forum by the West Africa Democracy Radio here in Accra, Deputy Chair of the Electoral Commission in charge of corporate services, Dr. Bosman Asari, said the EC will better the 79 turnout recorded in the 2020 elections. There's more in this report.
With less than 70 days to the 2024 election, various forums and engagements are being held to assess the preparedness of stakeholders. One of such is the Democracy and Governance Forum held by the West African Democracy Radio, gathering CSOs on their various roles in the upcoming elections. Speaking at the forum, Deputy Chair of the Electoral Commission in charge of corporate services, Dr. Bosman Asari, who disclosed that the EC would add some 2,000 new polling stations, adds his outfit is confident of improving last election's voter turnout.
So as far as the Electoral Commission is concerned, we were ready yesterday for the elections. And we believe that with the measures we have put in place, Ghana is going to have another successful general election. So let's also encourage people to go out there to go and vote. In 2020, we recorded a voter turnout of almost 79%, a little over 79%. So this year we are looking at doing more than that. And we expect that each and everyone who is a registered voter should go out there and exercise the franchise.
On her part, human rights lawyer and member of Metis Oversight Board, Ifya Asantewa Asariche, noted that although the nation prides itself in democracy, its benefits have not been experienced socially.
Ghana's electoral democracy has become highly performative because the socio-economic trends and realities paint a very different picture of the country. Daily existence has become a grind for millions of Ghanaians. So whilst the country was supposed to settle into this hopeful era, things have become very difficult for the average Ghanaian.
Meanwhile, manager West African Democracy Radio, Agnes John Tomasi, disclosed that the forum was aimed at contributing to free and fair elections in the upcoming poll.
Ghana has over the years been one of the examples of a democratic state in West Africa. And as we observe the evolution of processes in this region, we believe working in Ghana, Ivory Coast, and Guinea-Bissau, the three countries going to the polls in 2024 and 2025, will give us that opportunity to contribute to the process of holding free, fair, and transparent elections in these countries through dialogue such as this one.
The forum also assesses rules of the media, young people, women, and people with disabilities in the upcoming election.
Away from electoral matters, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has expressed concerns over the country's dependence on imported pharmaceutical products, emphasizing the need to boost local pharmaceutical industry. Ghana currently imports 70% of its medical needs from abroad, but speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony of the construction of the Miko pharmaceutical manufacturing plant at Akwemu in the eastern region, President Akufo-Addo lauded the construction, emphasized the need to address the vulnerabilities created by these dependencies.
Micropharma's vision high-quality, affordable drugs to the world. It's fully aligned with the government of Ghana's agenda to strengthen domestic production capacity in the pharmaceutical sector and reduce our reliance on imported medicines. This visionary project will serve the immediate health needs of our people and position Ghana as a key player in the regional and global pharmaceutical landscape. Ladies and gentlemen, over the year, the Akufo-Addo government has embarked on several initiatives to advance pharmaceutical manufacturing in our country. We've recognized that building a robust pharmaceutical industry is not just an academic and economic imperative, but also a social one.
Now, founder and CEO of Miko Pharmaceutical, Dr. Michael Obing, also explained that the construction of the plant is part of efforts to change the worrisome trend. The renowned plastic surgeon added that beyond its health benefits, the plant is expected to boost economic life by creating over 1,000 jobs for local residents.
Far too long, we have relied on imported medications, often facing the risk of associated counterfeit and substandard drugs. Today, we take a bold step to change the narrative. The groundbreaking of this state-of-the-art pharmaceutical company represents a monumental leap forward, not just for us, but for the entire country and the continent at large. Once completed, this facility will be one of the largest and most advanced in Africa, producing medications to address pressing health issues such as high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, malaria, pain management, and antibiotics and antivirals. However, the significance of this plant extends beyond the production of essential medicines. It symbolizes our commitment to economic empowerment and community development. We anticipate that this project will create about 1,000 jobs, providing meaningful employment opportunities for local residents and the country at large.
And this will wrap up this morning bulletin. Grateful for your time. My name is Obed King Gaglo. For more news, log on to starfm.com.gh. Have a blessed day.